question I would like to ask you guys is, who was more awesome in 1989? Was it Hulk Hogan or the Togo Package Lex Luger? Referring to an issue of PWI, Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. This was who's more awesome, Lex Luger or Hulk Hogan? This was a WWF versus NWA WCW dream match in the late 1980s, early 90s for sure. Right? The Hulkster was still the man in 89, and Luger was a dominating, badass heel U.S. champion. In 93, Luger became made in the U.S. and attempted to fill the void that Hogan left behind. It didn't work out so well. Although, truthfully, when the WWF rather at that time pulls the plug on you before you even have the chance to succeed or fail, you're fighting a losing battle. They finally met for the first time, one-on-one, on the second ever edition of Nitro on September 11th, 1995. This was the first ever head-to-head battle between Nitro and Raw, and the ratings between Nitro and Raw, and the ratings rather for the Hogan versus Luger match were the key to WCW's first victory on that night, as it was a continuation of Luger's surprise debut on Nitro the week previous. On August 4th, 1997, Lex Luger defeated Hollywood Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Truly one of the most exciting and spectacular moments in the history of the Monday Night Raws. They wrestled again after Hollywood regained the title 6 days later, but it never reached the heights of their famous Nitro match again. But in '89, promoted properly, this match would have exceeded all expectations. Some matches. Luger when he confronted Hulk Hogan. First Nitro, September 4th, 1995. WCW champion Hulk Hogan versus Lex Luger, Nitro, September 1st, 1995. You could all YouTube this. Lex Luger and the Giant versus Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman. Bash at the Beach, 97. Lex Luger defeats Hollywood Hogan for the WCW Championship, August 4th, 1997. Hollywood Hogan and Randy Savage versus Sting and Lex Luger. And then you have another match, Hulk Hogan versus Lex Luger, Super Brawl 2000. Who was better? In their prime. And remembering and looking back at this issue, if you could compare the two then, Luger had a way better body, physique-wise, but that was about it. Their in-ring abilities were about the same, but Hogan had the charisma. His promos were great, and Hogan by far, I think, was the bigger attraction in wrestling from that period of 84 to 91. That run he had, I think, is still unmatched for drawing money, ratings, and pay-per-view buys. One, could argue in the Attitude Era that Austin Rock drew just as much or more, and they might have, but they did not last as long as Hogan. Luger did not draw close to Hogan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Sting and Flair that headlined most of WCW's big shows during this time. I think PW Insider should have kind of played Hogan versus Sting instead of Hogan versus Luger. And when I say Insider, it's Pro Wrestling Illustrated, I know. Sting could do everything. And that's, the issue from, you know, you've seen that cover before. Who's more awesome, Luger or Hogan? I think you know where I'm giving the edge to. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon.